Welcome back. So do people who take a lot of selfies have low self-esteem? Is it maybe a cry for attention? Dr. Nicholas Westers from Children's Medical Center joins us now with a closer look at Selfie Esteem. Welcome.
Thank you.
And you know, this is a thing that we need to talk about. Just today, Kim Kardashian was on some of the morning talk shows talking about her new book called Selfish, where it's a book of all her selfies. And it does kind of make you cringe a little bit. Like, is it just extreme narcissism?
Well, I think there's a temptation to go that way, to say it's either extreme narcissism or a cry for attention or a reflection of low self-esteem. But to be clear, there's really no research at all on selfies at this point. So to make any general statements,
probably because it's relatively new.
It's relatively new, yeah. And yeah, so I'm sure a lot of people are starting to do research on it now. But to say that it is a reflection of narcissism is probably, I would caution against that.
Now I have a question for you, because I think we all take selfies. I was telling Susie one time, I like taking selfies because if I'm in front of the Washington Monument and I'm in the picture, for me it's like a better document of what I was doing at the time. But is it a problem when people start using the filters and making themselves skinnier, or making all their blemishes go away? When does it become an issue in terms of what people are trying to do with their appearance?
Well, I think, as you were just saying before, selfies can be fun, and they can document a moment in time where you are, especially if you don't have anyone else to take the picture for you. But where it can get to the point where it's problematic is if they're downloading these apps to make themselves look thinner or using filters, and where they're starting to place their self-worth in the quality of their selfies or how many people click like or respond to their selfies. And that's where I started talking about, I think you used the word Selfie Esteem. It's really not an actual clinical term in any way, but that's just a reflection of how much worth an individual might place in their selfie.
Is it a certain age range? Because I know, like, Ellen's in kind of the 20-something age range, and it seems like your generation is
exactly
right. Like,
I would say, yeah.
Selfies,
if I go on my Instagram account, the majority of it's all selfies, and which is kind of sad in a weird way, but the Britney style. So since I do a fashion blog, a lot of people who also are bloggers, will take selfies and be like, oh, look at my new earrings that so-and-so sent me, which is, a fun way to kind of showcase a product. But whenever, you're just taking selfies all day long, being like, oh, I'm having a great day, here's a picture of myself driving a car, it's kind of like, what else are you doing in your time?
And anyone that has a teenage daughter will know that they are the queen of selfies. These girls know how to do it, and they take thousands and thousands, like they're professional. And so my child analyzes mine and tells me whether or not it's good enough to post. And I should not be pursing my lips, because that's not a good look.
At what point At what point do we need to be concerned about our kids or friends or people that are in our life who are taking tons of selfies?
Well, if they're spending an inordinate amount of time taking selfies rather than spending time with real people and maybe taking pictures with them, then I think that could be isolating for themselves, and it may give them a false sense of connectedness with others.
So do you have any tips on how we can help the younger kids, like, i.e. teenage girls and even boys that are just consumed with these selfies? What are some things we can do to kind of guide them a little bit away from that if they are crying for help?
Well, one thing that's I would say is most important is the role of the parent in connecting, not necessarily completely overtaking the child's cell phone in the sense of approving every single selfie that they make, but maybe taking a selfie with them. Or
I was going to say.
Yeah, that can be a fun thing to do, and increase parental connectedness that way, because parental connectedness, research shows, is a protective factor for so many things, including risky behavior, poor mental health. So that can bolster their own self-image. And another thing that I recommend for parents to do is recognize that selfies are just a snapshot in time of an individual, and to stress that and educate that, tell their children that, their teens, that it's just one moment in time of one individual, one aspect of them. They're more than that.
Because teens can be mean, right? Like, even if it's a perfectly beautiful selfie, they'll find something wrong. Someone might say something, that one thing that they find wrong. Is there any way to protect our kids from that? I mean, short of not posting selfies?
I think just being able to remind them that people are out there just to, I think there's fishing, or the people will just go out, or trolling, they'll go out and just make negative comments about people, whether or not they believe that to be true. But as long as they're not placing their self-worth and the quality of their selfie, and as a parent, that parents are involved in helping them, remind them, even as adults, I think on social media going on and seeing other people's lives and how great they seem, because no one's posting the negative stuff as much. But if they
Look
post,
how dirty my house is.
Is there a clear difference, though, between, like Don was saying, a selfie in front of the Washington Monument, a selfie on the Great Wall of China, a selfie, you know, while you're having a fantastic lunch with, you know, friends or something? Is there a difference between that and then just the selfie of your face, like, look how pretty I am, or look how pretty this lighting is? Or do you think that's where the line is between doing something fun and doing something that is a little narcissistic?
I think both can be fun. Everyone wants to see how they might look in certain, for instance, you mentioned your teenage daughter may want to look at, try different makeup, a new makeup, and try that out rather than documenting themselves in the front of the Washington Monument.
Right.
So I would still hesitate to say that just taking a regular selfie of oneself and by themselves in their home is a negative thing. But sure, some individuals who are more narcissistic are going to be more likely to be drawn to social media in which they can broadcast themselves or self-promote. But I still caution against just necessarily saying that anyone who takes a selfie by themselves, not in front of any historical area, is a narcissist.
Sure.
So I think we all feel a little bit better, but I think, like, as mothers of teenagers, you know, maybe we're kind of like a collective sigh of relief that, you know, it's probably not that big of a worry unless it gets excessive, like you said.
Yeah, I think it can be more of an opportunity to connect with teens and parents with teens rather than a cause for concern.
Love it.
Okay. Well, you can also read Dr. Wester's blog, by the way. He's blogged about selfies and self-esteem on the Children's Medical Center website. Lots of great information there. And we are right in the middle of one of the best months to buy yourself a new car. Did you know this? We're sitting down with the folks from Crest Cars to chat about the do's and don'ts when the broadcast returns. Stick around.